Good evening, everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Salini Divine Mother. I'm about to do a blood moon reading for you, a collective reading. I'm going to use my decks, but I'm going to call down a message from the Holy Spirit. I am getting some information about this particular blood moon, which is huge. So I thought I'd combine it together with a card reading, at Astro Tarot reading, so we can maybe get some information about what's going on and how we can proceed during this blood moon eclipse season. So I'm going to shuffle and I'm going to talk while I'm shuffling because I'll get the energy into the cards. These are my super spiritual cards. We're in a blood moon as of tonight, and this is a blood red moon in Aquarius if it's Vedic Pisces, if it's Western tropical astrology. And it's also eclipse. It was a lunar eclipse, a long one. And it's a 2 week long, I can pronounce it, Penumbra season, eclipse season till the 21st. And so there's endings and beginnings. And this particular blood red moon has a lot to do with the end of dark cycles and dark people and dark organizations and the beginning of and the rewards for positive individuals and positive cycles. So let's see what the cards have to say, but I want to just a couple of quick things to say to people is don't be signing any contracts during this 2 week period. It's a period of endings. If you want to sign a contract, wait until after September 21st. It's not only 2 weeks. And just be contemplative during this 2 week cycle because there's going to be several eclipses coming up. And eclipses are about going deep into the unconscious, subconscious, and ending what needs to be ended, karmic cycles, negative patterns, negative thoughts, um, unhealthy relationships, unhealthy work situations, maybe old patterns that you kept doing that were blocking you from your abundance. I mean, like addictions need to end, or like abusive bosses, you need to leave that job, or abusive spouses, whatever it is, um, it needs to end. And then that will make space for whatever's good for you to come through. And this is about good things coming, because we're this 2025 and 2026 are the 2 years of spiritual awakening. All the prophets predicted this, including Edgar Cayce, Dolores Cannon, probably Nostradamus. I mean, some of his quatrains are hard to decipher, but um, even people that I know have seen it, and I can say that I see it. Once your third eye opens, let's have my little bindi up there, you can see what's coming. What I see coming is the end of the cabals, the end of the negative dystopian timeline and all these horrible world leaders, and the birth of strong, new, positive world leaders coming onto the world stage. People who are awake, those of us star seeds who've been prepared for, the outsiders, the exiles, the black sheep, the scapegoats. That's me. We're ready. We're ready to lead you into a better future. I mean, we don't need to be, the high cost of living and housing and food and war and all this stuff is a leftover from thousands of years of interference by alien forces and dark spirits, demonic entities that took over the earth a long time ago. We're going to kick those babies off the planet, and new energies are taking over. The star seeds are here. The chosen ones are here. Spiritual warriors are here. Light workers are here. We're all here to initiate this planet into the light, into an awakening, and away from duality and separation and war, greed, and all that stuff. That needs to end. All of that needs to end. If you're still caught up in the matrix with let's get money and greed, let's have, take advantage of people and let's get into dirty deals and try to steal from people and let's one up people and we're trying to get away with things and steal or whatever it is you're doing, abusing your spouse or your children. Stop. Just stop, because it's over. If you want to go down that timeline, you're going to be trapped there for thousands of years, let me tell you. Because when the timeline split permanently, which is coming, Those of you who have done your spiritual work will move into the peaceful timeline, the ascended timeline. That's where I'm going, and that's where I guide people when I do my spiritual work. If you are interested in learning how to do these things, you should go to my website, salini.love, and book a session with me. I do everything from, I have a whole awakening program for a whole year where you can see me 22 times, or you can do it in 6 months if you want to. Um, or even less, you can do it in 3 or 4 months, where I take you through each step of spiritual awakening. And you feel free to come and do that. I mean, you have to pay for it, but that's just one of my programs. I also have a mind control recovery program, a deprogramming. I have a trauma recovery. I have addictions recovery. I have soul retrieval. You've been traumatized, parts of your soul are floating around there. Let's go get them. I know I had to retrieve all the broken parts of my soul because I was a sex slave for the Masons. I was traumatized by my father, took me into the Masonic sex slave program, and I was traumatized. So I had to go get my soul parts and call them back. And then there's a past life regression. I can do that. I even have animal Reiki. So if you're interested in spirit, and then I just teach you how to spiritually awaken. I teach Reiki, I do Jedi warriorship, I do chanting workshop, and anything that helps you to awaken, I do it. It's on my website. You can book a session, you can buy a class, you can buy a puja, and let's get going, okay? So this is going to be a collective reading about the blood moon. So I'm calling on Spirit to give me a message about this blood moon and how it's going to affect all of us. And hang on a second. I'm going to make this flat. It's not a flat surface, so it's hard to lay the cards down. Okay. Um, here we go. How many shuffles? What do you want me to do, Spirit? And how's everybody doing? I love you guys. I hope you're following me. You can also join the Love Tribe if you're interested. And we do Reiki circles whenever I'm not too busy or I'm up for it. This is I do that on Sunday nights, or I do a satsang for free on Facebook or YouTube. I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet on YouTube, but um, once I do, I'll do it there. So I do a live satsang, which is a truth dialogue. And then we go to a Reiki circle Zoom, which is me with everybody who wants to join. Okay, so what do you have to tell the people today, Spirit, about the blood moon? Tell me, what is the message about the changes on the earth? Okay. How many more? One more? Okay. This it? Okay, this is it. What do we got? Let me get my, yeah. Ooh, fantastic. Okay, this has been a period of suffering, definitely. Are we in? Okay. All right. Okay, well, I see what's going on here. And this is my spiritual deck. It's not like regular decks that other people use. So if it sounds different, that's why. So first of all, people need to study some spiritual information. Where is my book? Oh, here it is. I want to look at this one. This is a deep card. It's the Eight of Stones reversed. It's knowledge. There's some wisdom or some secrets being kept from everybody. Yeah, I mean, we know that. Let me just say this without looking at it. This is the hidden truth about humanity right here. It just should be like this. And just so people know, if you don't know, sometime next year, I think it's March, there's going to be an astrological alignment that points directly into the eyes of the Sphinx. And, the stars are going to point right in. When that happens, there's going to be a discovery underneath the right paw of the Sphinx that there's a hall of records there that holds the true history of humanity. And that's going to include what happened with the Anunnaki and how they mind controlled and mind wiped us all. And they changed our history to believe that they were gods and that we didn't know that we were gods inside. And I mean that we are, you know, the child of God and we can rise into our higher self. They took that away from us and to keep us as slaves. So the Anunnaki in Egypt introduced the slave consciousness. Although before that, there might have been some slaves, but mostly they were people living in freedom out in the fields and pastures and caves and stuff. But the Anunnaki introduced a duality and a slave consciousness. And so this represents hidden knowledge because it's reversed. This is a card of knowledge and it's reversed. So let me just, because in this particular deck, everything is very esoteric. I want to read what it says here. So it's the Eight of Stones reversed. Yeah. Additional information is required before you can go forward in your spiritual awakening. You all must learn to research and in other words, go down those rabbit holes, look for the real truth about the world. Um, the answers have been hidden, but they are available to you if you look for the truth. Don't be lazy. Go look for it. A great truth is about to be revealed to you. The answer will burn to ashes if you don't grab it quickly, just like they burned the Library of Alexandria down. I've been to the Library of Alexandria in Egypt. There used to be an ancient library with all the wisdom of the world, and Julius Caesar burned it down as part of the war with Cleopatra. You know, she caused the fall of Egypt. Everybody thinks she's cool, but she isn't. She caused the fall of Egypt by having an affair with Mark Antony, and then Caesar came over to get her. And they had a war, and they burned down the library in Alexandria where all the wisdom was held. And this answer is available. Truth is simple if you search for it, and complexity represents the ego. So, you know, we don't need to go into these churches and memorize dogma. There are a lot of all the churches were started by the Anunnaki cabal. We need to go inward and find the answer. It's very simple, but you need to be digging for that answer. Okay. So that's a message from the universe telling you the truth is hidden from you, but it's simple to find. And it's going to come out next year under the right paw of the Sphinx. And then we're going to have massive global success and spiritual awakening. This is the Ten of Cups, which is total happiness and everything coming to you. Crossing you is the Mother of Swords, crossing us. This is a collective reading. This is a divine mother. So in order for the planet to completely wake up, there has to be the reinstatement of the divine feminine energy. And I don't want to hear any SHIT from you guys about this. A lot of misogyny still on this planet. I've experienced a ton of it. I've always been a strong, outspoken woman. I'm free. I'm sovereign. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't go out abusing anybody or putting men down. Well, it's all about allowing our voice, our frequency, our energy, our nurturing, our love, and our truth, and our healing abilities and our creative abilities to be heard, felt, and seen, and then included into the narrative. When everything's about war and power and men and who's on top and who's the most dominant man and who's got the biggest, you know what, all of that is absent the divine feminine. It's the absent the heart energy, and the divine feminine is the heart. And that's what you need to reestablish into the world, and that's when the world heals. So she's coming. She's coming around the mountain, baby, and she's coming for you. And it's going to be good. This isn't a war between the sexes. This is a divine feminine re-entering our hearts and opening our hearts and helping us heal. And once everybody's reopened their hearts, you don't want to kill everybody's sons. You don't want to have a war. You don't want to starve people over there and you know where. And I don't want to say the word because I get, you know what, shut down. So when the divine feminine is present, these kind of leaders do not exist. They are not here. Then we have profound leaders, loving leaders, nurturing, benevolent leaders who will help us get to the place where we need to go. So then what is the foundation of this condition that we've been on? Okay. That's, there we go. What is the foundation? Is that there's been a tremendous amount of cruelty. Ten of Swords has been occurred all throughout the world, throughout history. This is the card of cruelty, the Ten of Swords. And if you've experienced cruelty, you know what it's like. And this cruelty has created a foundation of traumatized individuals, split psychotic individuals who don't know right from wrong and who are power hungry, and maybe they're abusive and maybe abusing individuals and children and stuff. And this has to stop. This has to be healed. But this is the foundation of what happened here on the planet. And so in the past, we had a lot of illusions, but we're overcoming. We're overcoming our illusions. You know, we were mind controlled. The Anunnaki mind controlled us. That was part of what happened here on the earth. The truth is being revealed during this blood red moon. It's being revealed right now. And you have to allow old situations to end that don't work for you and new situations to happen. Whatever it is, the past. It could be something thousands of, it could be Atlantis, it could be Lemuria, it could be Egypt, or it could be Rome, or it could be Europe, or whatever past life stuff. It could just be a old relationship or your parents or something. Let it go if it's not serving you. And then you move into this is happiness. This is a happy home life, a happy home life. It's coming. And this is the immediate past, what we were doing before. Now this is the future where we're going to have a balanced home life, a happy home life, because we are in our power and because we're doing what we're supposed to do. Sorry. And we are in a situation where we are um, healed. And we decided we want to have a balanced home life. We want to have the four wands upright, which represents marriage, home, and family. And that we don't want to have these broken homes and these wars and people starving to death and all this stuff. We want to have a happy home. That's coming for us. That's what's coming. This is a blood red message, blood red moon message. Okay. Um, and so here's the world in the situation. Like, this is happiness the way we're supposed to be, but somebody who's not very deep, somebody who's maybe not doing their spiritual work, somebody who's just horsing around. And that's okay for a little while. This is immaturity. This is lack of evolution. This is somebody who's not really spiritually awakened. And, that works when you're 20, when you're 25, maybe even 30. But after 30, you need to be an adult and you need to be even before 30. I mean, really, after 25, you need to have your you know what together, and you need to be moving into maturity, working towards a goal of being accountable, responsible, not harming the earth, not harming people, not damaging things, not damaging lives, not involved in illicit activities or addictions. And this represents somebody who's happy but immature and not very deep. And you don't want to be hanging out with somebody like this for very long because this person is going to party you into trouble. You want to move. This is kind of like where we are. Like we're like children here right now. Where a lot of us people here on Earth are like children who haven't grown up yet. And it's time. It's time to grow up. It's time for the world to grow up. This planet is the heart center of the universe. And it's really important for us to reach our maturity. There are other planets that are way more advanced than we are. This is sort of the lowest vibrational planet, but it's the most diverse and the most heart-centered. We still have the ability to reproduce, and some planets do not. So this is why we're kind of the center, because our bodies are more God-centered, I guess is what I would want to say. And by the way, that's what the divine mothers are here, is to restore our DNA to the perfect state prior to when the Anunnaki took over and destroyed humanity. So that's why I've received so much resistance as a divine mother, as a truth speaker, because we came to perfect the DNA. We came to, oh, looks like I've run out of juice on my phone. We've come to restore the DNA. We've come to bring back the crystalline, pure DNA before it was tainted, before our DNA was spliced and polluted by alien technology and by the Anunnaki and others, and what they did in Egypt to people, which then spread out to the whole world. And so that's why there's a lot of trauma over there in the Middle East and in a lot of sex trafficking and things like that, because that's where that stuff started. And the Anunnaki then went to Rome and they um, compromised the Roman emperors, who then moved the legacy of sex trafficking and mind control and stuff into the global population as a whole when they established Western civilization. So we're kind of like babies, is what I'm saying, and we need to mature, we need to evolve into higher consciousness beings. We really do. And we're going to. So we're working on our spiritual awakening. We're not there yet. This is a card of spiritual awakening. It's reversed. It's supposed to be like this. So we're working on it. At least we're thinking about it. It's in our aura. When it's next to the card that represents the world, I mean, this is us on the planet, the collective, and this is what we're thinking about. We're thinking about spiritual awakening. So at least you got it in your consciousness, okay? At least you're not thinking about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Maybe somebody is, but a lot of us are thinking about spiritual awakening. And if you're not thinking about spiritual awakening, you need to be, because it's going to happen anyway. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to kick your, you know what? It's going to slap you upside the head, and you're going to regret it when it happens. And you weren't ready. So that's why I'm here, is to get people ready, to teach people. You know, I came early. I'm one of the early first wave indigo teachers. I've been speaking the truth and teaching spirituality since I was a child. I started healing animals when I was 5 years old. My mother taught me, brought all the healers in when I was 9. And by the time I was 18, I was already an accomplished healer, and I was healed. I was healed a lot, but not completely from the sex slavery. But I was already practicing healing. I mean, I came in with all kinds of stuff like that. So I came here to teach people, and that's why I went through the shadow work. That's why I went through the dark underground. And that's another point. You got to do your shadow work. I've walked through the underworld. I've walked side by side by devils and demons, and I've transmuted the energy of the underworld. So when they come for me, they start to heal immediately. And they don't realize that's what I'm just naturally healing them. I don't have to do anything. It's like when you've done your own work and you've balanced out your shadow energy with your light energy and you're both together. So you're walking with your shadow as well as your light, and you've mastered your shadow aspects. Boom. As soon as they come into your field, they start to heal. They can't get you anymore. And that's in my Jedi warriorship class, by the way. So you're going to have to do that work, because it's going to slap you upside the head right now during the eclipse. All your shadow stuff's going to come up, and you're going to be like, oh, whoa, I should have done this a long time ago. I mean, as I was doing my shadow work, sometimes you think you're not going to make it. But if you find a good healer, a good shaman, a good Reiki master, people who understand the depths of the unconscious and the shadow world and the healing and the light and how the light transforms the shadow, find somebody like that and have them help you, because you're about to enter into not the twilight zone, but into your spiritual awakening. It's about to happen. So the next card up is a fresh new start, and it's reversed. You're not there yet, collective. You're still blocking. This is a passionate new start, whatever. I mean, it could be your job, your life, whatever. It's just passionate into your spiritual awakening, because this is about the blood red moon. So I'm talking about spiritual awakening here. And this is reverse, which means you're not ready yet, or you're not there yet. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means you're not 100% there yet. And then the next card is the Three of Cups overflowing. So this represents an emotional release. Like, you need to allow yourself to express yourself emotionally. This is really big for men in our culture. If you want to evolve, men, you need to allow yourself to have your emotions. And I know a lot of very sensitive men who do, and they usually have more divine feminine going on, so they do allow themselves to have their emotions, but they may not be supported in their home life or their culture or their religion for having emotions. A lot of people would call them, gay or whatever just for having emotions. And there's nothing wrong with that, you men. I'm proud of you for feeling your feelings. You need to. And when you've mastered your emotional state and you've allowed yourself to express all your emotions, and then you're no longer flustered or bothered, then you're really you've mastered yourself. You've really mastered yourself. That's what's coming. So that's part of the blood red moon is your ability to heal all those aspects that are unhealed. It's coming now, and you can't waste any more time. Okay. So my there we go. Stop. Okay, it stopped. Um, so that's part of the outcome here is that you need to feel your feelings. That's what's blocking everybody. If you haven't felt your feelings, you're not moving into the evolution of your spiritual awakening that's being triggered right now. The other thing is the battle is over. You had a mental defeat. You had an attitude of this is collective. There was a feeling of feeling defeated, which was put into our minds through mind control programs by the Illuminati and the Anunnaki and all the various groups, secret societies, aliens, government, wherever, I myself went through the MK Ultra program. I know what it's like to go through violent, traumatic mind control and trauma. And this is how they capture you. This is how they capture your mind, your chakras, your third eye, and your crown chakra. They block it with trauma so that the trauma gets blocked at your brain stem. And then at your brain stem becomes overloaded with trauma. And that's why people get brain tumors and Parkinson's disease and things like that. People who have a lot of migraines or Parkinson's or like tumors in the brain stem, like glioblastoma, probably have a lot of buried trauma. And nobody's talking about that. Of course, doctors don't talk about that. But when I work on people, I can see the trauma. And sometimes we've been able to turn around some of those things. And I myself went through that. I had viral meningitis because I was traumatized. And the day that I had my memories, I had them for 3 weeks, and then I got viral meningitis, and the viral meningitis was directly connected to the traumatizing of my brainstem, and I overcame that with God and healing and Reiki, and now I'm here. And I had a near-death experience, and God showed me exactly how the energy creates diseases in the body. And so you don't want to let them mind control you into diseases, okay? There's a lot of stuff that you can heal through natural means, through energy healing, through shamanic healing. I'm not saying that there are times that you need a medical professional because sometimes you do. But there's other ways. It's a soul healing, an emotion healing, a trauma healing. It's in my book. Here's my book here. Um, You get a chance, you want to read my book, Emerging from the Matrix, Healing Human Trauma and Ending Global Enslavement. It's on Amazon by Salini. And I explain the whole thing, and there's 22 steps in the back on how to heal yourself. And, read it. It'll help you. So this is the basic reading. I'm going to do a quick clarification here. And let's see, what do we need to clarify? Like, how did we feel defeated? And what about the emotional overflow? What about the new start that didn't happen? What about yeah, these right here. Um the spiritual awakening that's blocked and the person that's not evolved or actually, you know what? Let's do the knowledge. What is the knowledge that we need to have? Let's just do a little bit of qualification, and then I'm going to pull a couple of other cards for you. And so this is a collective reading for the whole world on the night of the blood red moon, September 7th. And ooh, these cards came right out. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. This is a collective reading, and so I'm asking for the universe to give me messages about what people need to know so they can awaken spiritually, or what they're experiencing as a result of the blood red moon. And this blood red moon is going to transform the world. It's going to be the end of the demons, of the satanic cults and the Masons and all those people, and it's going to mean the birth of divinity, divine people. Um, Here we go. Can we clarify this, please? Ready? Yes. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Hmm. Oh, wow. Good stuff. Okay. And we got that card again. So the star, the spiritual teacher, the one, this is the card of Aquarius, actually, and this is the one who brings hope, wisdom, and truth to the world. He or she pours the waters of life and truth and wisdom and healing out to humanity. That's going to overcome our defeated consciousness. This kind of energy, this kind of people, the star seeds of the world, the chosen ones. We're all here now, and we're here to give all of you the wisdom you need and the healing you need and the love you need to make it into the next level of consciousness. Okay. Um, Let me have a sip here. Okay. And our new beginning was stopped by not expressing our emotions enough. We need a new beginning, but it was blocked because we hadn't allowed ourselves to feel it from the heart. But we will get our new beginning soon, and it's going to be abundant. It's going to be abundant new beginning because we're going to start doing our spiritual work. When you start doing your spiritual work, abundance naturally follows. When you remove the barriers like low self-worth, when you start loving yourself and you start opening your heart and your root chakra, excuse me, with the hiccups, you're going to experience abundance and happiness. But it's work that you have to do. You can't just sit around and wait for things to drop in your lap. You got to do some real spiritual work. And then comes the rebirth. Here it is, upright. And it's qualifying the card of spiritual awakening. So we are going into our rebirth very soon. 2026 is supposed to be a year of rebirth. I think this is going to be amazing. So I want you to all have faith. Continue to have faith. And then again, we're overcoming these mental defeat. So that's what we're getting. And on the bottom, we're overcoming failure, feelings of failure. This mind control stuff. It was all done to us as a result of mind controlled programs. I went through the MK Ultra program, and one of the programs that they put me into was the Evelyn Woods speed reading, which was actually a mind control program, but I was taught to be like a supercomputer where I could read a book in 10 minutes. Like my book is 542 pages. I could read that in about 10 minutes. And we were taught to be able to calculate really quickly. And these are things that people used to be able to do all the time. But if you go into like the Masons or some of these other things, they keep those secrets just for the secret societies and they dumb the rest of the people down. But I broke all those things. Like it was actually helpful to have that part of the mind control because it activated all these dormant parts of my brain and I became very supercomputer-like and very mentally active. And I was able to decipher what was going on, where they were trying to shut down my spiritual sight, my third eye and my crown and my brainstem. And I said no. And so I started to heal it. And that's what is happening here, you know? So let's do another row. Fantastic. So it's going to get better. We're going to have a happy life. This is the card. This is the sun, which is the happiest, most positive card in the deck, and it qualifies the star and the card of feeling defeated. So how do we get two defeats here? Oh yeah, it's a five of wands and the five of swords. We're overcoming feelings of defeat. We got both of those cards reversed. So that means we're overcoming the defeat. Then next comes justice. This is the Son of Swords, which is the balancing of the scales, where we're going to get, it's going to balance out for each of us who've been through whatever we've been through. I know I've been through hell, but whatever you guys have been through, it's going to balance out. But you got to do your spiritual work. I'm going to keep saying that. Nobody's going to drop a gold sack in your lap with money and everything's hunky dory. You don't have to try. I mean, I've met so many people who don't want to do the work. You have to. It's either that or you're going down this dark timeline and you're going to have some rough lessons if you go down the dark timeline. Um, and then we have the Daughter of Stones. Okay, so there needs to be meditation taking place or you're going to block your possibilities. That's what this is. You have a lot of abundance coming if you're doing your spiritual work. You can't get lollygag on that. And so you gotta, in order to have your spiritual awakening, you gotta strap on your you know what's and get some courage going. You got to have some balls here, folks. Really do. Let me tell you, awakening is scary, painful, and difficult and long lasting. And it's pretty much a lifetime experience. And for some people, it's worse than others. I know I've had a really, really difficult life with a lot of hard lessons and physical pain and stuff like that. But I'm pretty peaceful at this point. It's pretty much okay. And that was a result of the work I did. It was nobody handed it to me. And that's what you're going to have to go through. It takes courage. Courage is available to you if you ask. Like Professor Dumbledore told Harry, help is available to all those who are deserve it at Hogwarts. Remember that. Help is available to any of you who ask, who deserve it. And then the ultimate outcome is the total card of spiritual awakening. This is the universe unbound, the multiverse unbound, because everybody, oh, my nose is itching. In case you didn't know, you're a multidimensional individual. We aren't just earthlings. We are people who, like, look at these dolphins behind me. Did you know that dolphins are more intelligent than humans? Their brain capacity is larger than ours, and their ability to memorize and to see things across the ocean is out of this world. Studies that have been done on dolphins that determined their brains were so big that they shouldn't be kept in captivity, and they let them go. And so there's other beings all throughout the universe, some of which we've been, or animals. Look how amazing animals are. Look how amazing trees and plants are. We are multidimensional, and that's why this planet is the most diverse planet in the universe. And that's why you came here at this time to have your spiritual awakening. And this is your greatest opportunity for spiritual awakening is in this lifetime, at this time, as we are about to wake up. This is it. You you won the spiritual lottery, you know? You got through your mom's uterus and came burst out. Thank God you made it just in time, and you're going to wake up. If you let yourself, you're going to wake up because everybody's going to wake up. It may not all happen exactly at the same time, but I'm telling you, I've seen it. Everybody's going to wake up and it's going to be beautiful. I want you to come there with me, okay? It's really going to be fantastic. Okay, I'm going to pull a few other cards. And this is going to be the cosmic energy reading for tonight. Let's look at the energy deck for the cosmic energy reading. And oh, I gotta get some sleep here. So I'm calling for a message from the universe regarding the blood red moon tonight and the messages for the population. What do they need to know? What do they need to know tonight? A message for the population. What do they need to know for the collective? And the blood red moon, please. Collective reading for the blood red moon at this time. Everybody, spirit, come through, please. Spirit, come through. Is this it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Fantastic. Okay. Well, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Angel of Balance, which means everybody is working on balancing out their inner selves, masculine and feminine, and negative and positive, shadow and light. We're all working on it. We're all working on it. One of our chakras has been affected and blocked, and I can tell you, boy, this is the one that's been bothering me. Third chakra, solar plexus, and that's your creative area here where your emotions are very creative, and it's been blocked and or troubled. I know I've had a lot of digestive stuff going on and it's getting better, but this one is happening to a lot of people. It's blocked. So, you need to be eating foods that are that color, which is yellow. You need to be purifying and detoxing and cleaning out your digestive tract so that your body can heal whatever it is that it's trying to heal. Do a 3-day fast with water and or do a veggie fast. I'm on a veggie fast right now. Um, so I've actually have not eaten. I did have some cheese today. I should be honest with that. 2 weeks I haven't eaten anything. Just water and a veggie drink, and I had one smoothie. Yeah, I had a smoothie today. And yesterday I had a veggie drink and I'm not eating anything. And my body just seems to need that right now. And that's what's going on. You need to honor whatever's going on, which chakra is blocked. What is your game plan for evolving spiritually? How are you doing it? And then we go walking away, which whatever it is that's not working for you, walk away. Um, This is somebody walking away from a current situation and closing the gate and going into an unknown future. And that's what we have to do. Sometimes it's time for you to do that. You finish something and start over. It may be enticing to stay in the situation, but if it's not working, you need to go. And a new beginning is waiting for you. It's just that simple. When you walk away for the right reasons, a new beginning will happen for you. Um, this card also indicates that maybe you need to let go of some old habits, some addictions, maybe some behaviors, maybe some health habits that aren't good, maybe some emotional abusive stuff or false beliefs, whatever that might be, false beliefs. And it doesn't matter what it is. It's sometimes you look deeply into yourself. What do you need to walk away from? And, you will have the resources come to you from the Holy Spirit. You just need to do it. And then guess the card right after that is the journey. Then you begin your spiritual journey when you allow yourself to walk away from what's toxic in your life. Then comes your spiritual journey. And this card is, pack your bags, baby. Your spiritual journey has begun. And this could signal anything from a new job to a new relationship to a new living situation. Once you walk away from old stuff, the new journey begins. And that's where we're at right now. This couldn't be more accurate for the eclipse season. Something's going to go away and something new is coming and it's unknown. And then we have the man with the coin. And this just represents, it doesn't necessarily represent romance. This represents business opportunities, financial opportunities, a new business. You're starting a new entrepreneurship. It's new things are coming in the form of opportunity for you. And here somebody's going to show up who's going to help you. And whether it could be a woman or a man, but this is somebody holding a coin, which means he's okay, I got some money, maybe I'm going to invest in your business. These kind of opportunities come up when you take the journey. You got to move away from the comfort zone. One of the things that I had to do, like I was born and raised in California, and there came a time I couldn't live there anymore. I mean, I couldn't afford to live there anymore. And my family's there, my friends were there, my kids were there. And it's like, how am I going to live without these people? I couldn't find a place to live. The neighborhood burned down in a fire. They closed my office because of COVID. And I just, all of a sudden, I couldn't do anything. And I thought, I just have to leave. And I moved here. I moved to the other side of the country. And as soon as I did, everything opened, every opportunity possible opened up. Everything improved the minute I left. And I didn't have anything when I left. I mean, I pretty much had given up everything. I had just what I was had in my car, and I drove across the country and started over. But boom, here came everything that I needed. And so I'm telling you to trust the universe, trust the process. It's going to happen for you, whatever it is, whatever it's supposed to be. And then it's interesting because then we finally got the garden and the gate reversed, which is the same thing. It's time to open you, but you're comfortable in your garden for a long time. But all of a sudden you decided to walk away, which is what I did, and it started a whole new life for me. So this card, when it's reversed, indicates a very happy choice to open a door where you kind of lived too long and go out into a spiritual pursuit. And maybe you were kind of overly comfortable, but now you're ready to go deeper. And you're going to go deeper into your spirituality. And people sometimes believe they have to have all these possessions and make a lot of money and be really super famous or whatever. But maybe this isn't really true, and that you just need to step out onto the next adventure. And you'll find that beyond your garden, the universe is willing to fill your life with beauty and joy. Expect the unexpected, for joyous synchronicity abounds. This is a very positive card when it's reversed. All these cards are positive here, all of them. So this is what we're facing as we go into this blood red period of 2 weeks and beyond. This is going to go beyond. Okay. And then comes let's see. I just want to pull a couple of these cards. Let's pull the Rose Oracle, and this represents love, unconditional love. I love this deck. It's pretty much about the divine feminine unconditional love. Okay, a message for the collective, please, from the Rose Oracle. Can we get a message from the collective for the Rose Oracle, please? So let's pull one card out. Rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, your peace, and your sweetness of life. These are very faint. You can't really see them, but this is a woman in a rose bush. She's sitting in a rose bush. All of the cards are very, very faint, so they don't show up very well here on the camera. But even if you're looking at it right here, she's kind of sleeping in a bed of roses. So you have your right to have your happy, joyful, peaceful life. That's what this message is. And that's where you're going. That's what this message today is about. You don't have to go into this scary future with, the New World Order and they're going to come and get us and we're going to have no houses and all. It doesn't have to be like that. And I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't believe it. And I'm not going to empower that future. And then let's have a keeper of the light. Then we're going to wrap it up, I think. Keeper of the light. I do have one other deck here. Okay, Keeper of the Light. Can we have a message for the collective from the Keepers of the Light? Keepers of the Light. One card, please. Keepers of the Light. One card, please. This card right here. Oh, yeah, Heart Awakening. Psh, couldn't be any better. Lady Nada, awaken to the acceptance of divine love, give and receive in balance. There she is. This is just one of the archetypes of love. It's Lady Nada. These just could be any culture. She happens to be a Caucasian looking woman, but she isn't a real person. But this is like a goddess, and it's about, she's got a rose on her chest. And that's what's happening right now is we are all awakening to divine unconditional love. And if you do that, your life's going to start happening. You know, it's going to get, it's going to really be fantastic. Okay, one last card, folks, and then I'll let everybody go. So this is my collective reading for tonight. These are the Divine Feminine cards, which I adore. Yeah. Yeah, I recovered a lot of my divine feminine energy when I went to Egypt. I brought back a lot of my power and I healed while I was there. And I also went through a huge transformation. It's been really intense. There's a lot of divine feminine energy as well as dark energy in Egypt, but I got a lot of good stuff out of it. Okay, so I'm kind of feeling this card and this card. Okay, so we got Lilith. Lilith is considered the first woman and the first wife of Adam, and she refused to submit. He wanted her to. They both came out of the earth, supposedly, and made from the God made them from the soil, and they were to be husband and wife, and he said, "You have to be lower than me and submit," and she said no. And so now they have a legend that she's bad, and I don't agree. She represents the suppressed divine feminine, so an angry feminine. She's the voice of her body and soul. I choose the life that I desire to live. So she's a sovereign woman, a free woman. She's not evil. She's just free. And then the other one we got, this one, Enheduanna. I don't see this one very often. The High Priestess. I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. Okay, so this is Lilith. This is the divine feminine. And this is Enheduanna, the High Priestess. And I'm going to have to look it up because I don't know who she is. This one I don't think I've ever gotten this one. 206. She looks like she could be Hawaiian or maybe, Polynesian. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, so no, she is Mesopotamian, so wouldn't that be Middle East? Um, she embodies Enheduanna, embodies the ability to become one with our soul, to live out our highest purpose. She was born, this is a real person. She was born in Mesopotamia during the Akkadian Empire around 2285 BC. She was considered not only she's the first known poet, female poet, but the first named literary author in history. Oh, wow. It is believed that Enheduanna was the daughter of the Sumerian king Sargon of Akkad. Yes, I think I have remembered this one. She was given the title of and which signified her tremendous political power. Sargon of Akkad named her the high priestess of the most important temple in Sumer. Sumeria was a huge power center back then. And she was charged with the lofty task of melding the Sumerian gods and goddesses with the Akkadian ones to create stability in the empire. So she composed 42 hymns, and her most famous works are titled The Exaltation of Inanna, okay, and the Sumerian Temple Hymns. Her hymns were copied and used long after her death and considered immensely valuable, equal to the inscriptions of kings. She is credited with creating the structure of poetry, psalms, and prayers that were then used throughout the ancient world. Her hymns influenced and inspired the prayers and hymns of the Hebrew Bible and the Homeric epics. It is believed that Enheduanna reached a semi-divine status in her lifetime and that she was considered to be the embodiment of the Sumerian goddess Inanna. Okay, so this is shown of a woman who rose into her divinity when her father allowed it. He allowed her to be in her highest self. So she wrote poems and did all kinds of stuff and prayed and everything. And so this is a sign of someone who followed her highest vocation, her dharma, and became who all that she could be. So she wants you to live and breathe your full soul purpose. She wants you to become intimate with it so there's no longer any separation. No more excuses or apologies for how powerful you are. You are the high priestess or the high priest. You are this eternal, this powerful, this divine. Your holy heart is really this legendary. So we thank these powerful ladies who helped us grow to who we are. And these are the women that we need to remember. And these are for the men as well as for the women, because these ladies were nurturing men right and left. And we were healing the men. We had sexual high priestesses. We had spiritual high priestesses. We had healing high priestesses. And she's one of them. She was a literary, apparently a literary wisdom high priestess. I do a lot of wisdom work. So, my message is that, let yourself become all you can be here during this time of the after the blood red moon, because duality is going to end and there's going to be more power for you to become everything that you can be. So do you want to go back and get stuck in the matrix with some of the old people back there that Neo used to know? Or do you want to go into the, highest version of yourself? Do you want to evolve? Do you really want to let yourself get into what you're capable of? What's your blueprint? What's your true soul purpose? What's your dharma? That's what it means to be in your true life mission. What is it? A lot of people come to me to help them get there. I'm challenging you. Go into your highest self from this point on after the blood red moon. Okay? All right. Well, I hope that was helpful to people. I love you guys. I'm going to say namaste to you. If you like my work, come see me for a private session. I adore you all, and I pray for everybody all the time. I hope this is a beginning of a whole new life for everyone. And I just want good things. I wish good things on you and on all of you. May your life be blessed, awakened, healed, and bountiful. Until next time, I say to you, Namaste, Om Namah Shivaya, and I love you with all my heart. Bye for now.